Hello, hello.
Hello. Wow.
Jo
Been a long
J
time.
long time no see, John, but happy to have you here.
I I gotta do this more often.
I'm in full agreement. We're always happy to have you here. So, we got some other familiar faces here as well. Donna, nice to see you. And John Todaro, long time no see. Hope all is well.
We got a crowd.
We do got a bit of a crowd building, but
We
happy.
need some walk-up music for Alexa.
No, not at all. Not at all. But really happy to have everybody here. Happy to be here. It's a Friday. A happy Father's Day for all of you dads out there. Sending all the well wishes and happy thoughts for those fathers and families out there. So we'll kind of kick it off. So as you may or may not be aware, who was on Breakfast Club today? Was a handful of us on Breakfast Club? So a lot of you know that Chris is obviously in Africa, which means he's got bigger things to do than be here on this call. We're hoping he runs into that elephant for that Breakfast Club t-shirt. So we'll see. Looking forward to that photo. But I'm here in his stead. So please know it's a friendly space. If you have questions, you can shoot them over in the chat. Francis will let me know to kind of stop what I'm doing and answer those questions. And yeah, so I'm going to kick things off. For those of you that were here last week, we kind of talked about the reviews AI and the listing feature. So if you're already a CRM member and you need any help, with, sorry guys, getting messages here in the back end starting to distract me. If you need any help with those features and you're already an existing CRM client, you can jump over to Zoom support. If you don't know about those features and you're interested in learning about the CRM and the new listings feature, Francis is going to send over.
Rose.
And
Alexa, you
yeah,
froze a bit.
I had a feeling. Hold on. Let me close some things out. At what point did I freeze?
The
Well, I'm not sure if everyone heard. I'm going to add a link into the chat here for you guys. You are interested in the CRM
Oh,
listings.
yeah. You know what it is? I think I found.
it's probably me.
All right. Am I back?
Yes.
Back? Okay, cool. So sorry about that, guys. When it just does that sometimes. So we'll move on. But again, the reviews AI, super cool feature. The listings feature, super cool. And if you've got any questions, the link in the chat will help you connect with the team. If you're not a CRM member, if you are a CRM member, please jump over into Zoom support. Don't forget, since we're talking about this, ask for those Google Business reviews as you go about your day, right? Just ask. Anytime you connect with people that you think are willing to leave you that review, if you don't ask, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? So make sure to ask for that business. And talking about online presence and things like that, if anybody is interested, we do have a really amazing SEO program. And SEO sort of is like a content and strategy to help you grow your online presence. So if you're interested in the SEO program, that sort of ties into your whole Google business profile and what your reputation is online. We've got a really cool SEO program, and Francis has shared the link to that in the chat. But on the docket for today is we're gonna pull a list of agents from Model Match, and from that list, we're basically going to pull them into the software, automate them going into a dialer so that you can make calls to those agents, automatically add them to a pipeline and to a workflow that we have sort of inside the CRM. So I don't know if anybody has their Model Match login and wants to be, a demonstration for us. Steve, I don't know if maybe you feel like volunteering, but I feel like you probably have Model Match already set up, don't you?
I do have it set up, and I do need to re-download for the area because a lot of the phone numbers didn't pull through, but I saw that they fixed some of that, so.
Yeah. So if you'd like, we can demo with you if you prefer. I can certainly share my screen. So what do you think, Steve?
Sure, we can do mine because that knocks out something I need to do.
There we go.
I
And
don't know how confident I am at walking through it for everybody, but let me
well,
share my screen and we'll pull it up.
I can take control and sort of guide the way from here.
All right, that sounds perfect.
All right, Rockstar. So I shall request access to your screen here. And Francis, if there are any questions in the chat, let me know. And Steve, quick question for you. Do you already have a realtor campaign set up sending out emails?
Yes, I gave this over to the concierge service, so I did not put the new list in to launch.
Okay.
To a launch. I don't know if they did that or not because they're dialing.
Okay, so what I do want to do here, we're going to pull a list from Model Match. We'll create a pipeline for that specific area, and we can create a dialer just because I want to show that process, like just for that list at the end of the day. So we can go ahead and load that power dialer. But if you do have a workflow sending emails that we can flow those agents into automatically, and you want to do that, that would be sort of the third layer that we'd implement today.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
And remember, we're going to pull a few counties in and call it Central Valley list.
Okay. All right. So then what we'll do, we're gonna get to work here. So let's get started. Dun dun dun. Alrighty, I can control your screen. So we are logged into Model Match. And for everybody that doesn't know, in the left-hand menu of the CRM, we've got qualified agent lists here. And this is how we can come search for agents. Now we can expand this Model Match menu so that you kind of see where you are. And we're basically going to be in Market Insights. That's where we're going to go pull and search for our lists from. And this is what it looks like when we first get there. We're going to pick a specific location that we're looking for this list in. So what is the county or area that we're pulling for?
We're going to start with Stanislaus County.
Perfect. Amazing. Now we can add some filters to this. So we're going to click add filter. And are we looking for agents doing 8 or more buyer side transactions?
Yes.
Perfect. So you'll see here at the bottom, we have seller and buyer units sorted differently now, which is a huge update in Model Match. That's great for, I think, all of our users here. So under buyer units, we can specify that we want 8 and greater than 8. So we're going to set that. That gives us basically 94 records in this area. And we are viewing agents. So there you do have the option to view loan originators and things like that. But right now we are looking at agents. And so we got 94 folks in this. We're going to select them all. Actually, we're going to select the first 250, which is really going to select all 94. And we're going to add them to a pipeline. Now, and let me just think about the way that we want to do this first. Okay. We're gonna, how many areas are we trying to get into this list, Steve?
There will be at least 3 counties.
Okay. So we're at 94 right now. Let's go ahead and we won't push them into the CRM right this second. We're going to go ahead and add them all into a pipeline, and then we'll push the entire pipeline through. Unless, do you want each list to get pushed through with this specific area tag? Oh,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
that's okay. Do you want
I'll have
each
to write
list to have the county tag?
Yes, that'd be great. Or
Okay.
we can just put them in and call them Central Valley, which is, I think,
That's up to you. If you want them to have separate tags, we'll push them
no,
through
let's call them
separately.
Central Valley because it's really one market.
Okay. Alrighty. So Central Valley it is. And we will call this Central Valley what are going to be the 3 counties? Do you want to just type them out for me just so that we'll give a bit of a description there? Because I like to be descriptive. Alrighty. Are we all
Yep. Three
all
counties.
good? That's everything? Beautiful. I shall take back over. We do have to do this portion here. The owner will make it you. And we're going to go ahead and click add. So we've created a pipeline. I like to make these candidates over prospects because that puts them in this little box you'll see in our pipeline here in a second. So we're going to set them as candidates. We're going to go ahead and add them to the pipeline. We're not going to export them to the CRM just yet. This takes a second to kind of pop up blue. So hang out here for a second, but we're not going to do this right this second because we'll do it at the end. Okay. So we're going to close that out. And we'll go pull sort of, I'll take you to pipelines here quickly and show you what this looks like actually, because it's kind of cool. So here we have right now the Central Valley pipeline that we just created. We've got 94 candidates in there right now. So we'll
Can we
go,
remove these others that came in? Because this was the same areas and we had over
you
1,000.
can, you
So
have
those
to
not
draft
valid.
them. But
Okay.
Steve, for the purpose of this call, we'll focus on getting the other lists through and pushing things through. But this is you can basically draft these other pipelines, but we're going to focus here, like we'll just focus on Central Valley.
Okay.
So we're going to go to Market Insights. We're going to remove this filter for this county and we'll go search a new location. So if you can type in what the next location was. Alrighty, so we'll give it a second there. So we've got 120 agents in this list. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to select the first 250, which will select all 120 in this list right now. And we're going to add them to basically the Central Valley pipeline. There it is. We'll make them candidates. And I like to make them candidates because, hold on here. Because that's where they pop up into that bucket and they're easy to view. So we're going to go ahead. We'll add those ones to the pipeline. And you said you got one other area. So we'll give it a second. Alrighty. Usually I wait for that just to pop up. And I think we can close out this window. Let's just go look here at our pipeline. Yep. So we've got 214 candidates. Let's go pull that last area. We'll remove this search. We'll pull a new location. And what was the third one, Steve?
San Joaquin.
Alrighty. You spell that for me. These all sound like if they're in California, jealous
Yes.
of that weather, I tell you that much. Might have a typo there. Yeah. Perfect. Alrighty. Does it make sense that there'd only be one person in that?
No, it went to San Joaquin, California instead of
So let's
San
close,
Joaquin
let's take that out. Let's remove that filter. Oh, sorry, I was typing it in for you already there.
Go ahead.
How do you spell it?
Joa.
K-O-A.
No, Joa.
Oh, J-O-A. J-O-A.
There it is.
It's this one. It's the second one. Got it. Okay. Alrighty. And you've got 149 results in this one. So we're going to select all of these folks. And I select the first 250 because that's going to make sure we get them all. We're going to add them to the pipeline, which will be Central Valley. Again, I like to make them candidates. And let's add them to the pipeline. So our pipeline's filled up pretty nicely there. Again, I just like to wait for this to pop up blue. It does recognize duplicates. So just be aware there's some duplicates in this list. This is telling you basically, like when we push things through to the CRM, there won't actually be 149 contact records. There are 43 duplicates. The software recognizes duplicates so that we don't have to do anything with that. So we're going to jump over now. Before we push this list into the CRM, we're going to go set up a few things in automation. So I'm going to create a folder here, and let's just call this Central Valley for now. Alrighty, that's going to be down here. It's alphabetical. Here is Central Valley. And Steve, this is where I'm just going to play around for a little bit because we're going to build a power dialer that's automatically going to load. We're going to build a pipeline quickly, and we can delete these all after if you don't want them, or if you want to use them, you know, you can make use of it as you see fit. But yeah, I'm going to demo just a smidge here in your account. So I'm in that folder, Central Valley, and we're going to create a workflow, and it's going to be just a very simple power dialer. So we're going to start from scratch. You could copy an existing power dialer and move it into this folder, but they're very easy to kind of set up. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. Anytime we create a new workflow, I always start with the title. So we'll call this Central Valley Power Dialer. All right. So our name is there. We can also, so with workflows, there's sort of two parts to a workflow. There's a trigger and then the steps inside the workflow. So a trigger pulls somebody into a workflow. It's like this criteria that pulls somebody into the workflow. And then the steps are all what's kind of outlined here down these lines. Sorry, I think there's a delay there, Steve. I'm going to just...
That's okay. I was moving your picture out of the way so I could see the rest of the screen.
That what it was. Okay, so I'm just going to request access one more time, and then hopefully I can click around from there. All right. So, I'm going to close this down. So we're going to start by adding an action in this workflow. And the action that we're going to be doing, it's a call action, and it is the manual action to call, because you are going to go manually call these people from the power dialer in the system. And that's power dialer is a workflow. It's sort of what we're creating here. So we're going to add a manual action to the call and save this. Oh, is there something in the way at the bottom there? There we go. Perfect. Now, Steve, when we push these agents through from Model Match, we're going to tag them as Central Valley agents. Is that what we want to tag them as?
Yes.
All right, cool. So we're going to add a trigger, and we're going to use the contact tag trigger. And we're going to add filters. And we have to specify here. So we want to specify it's when a tag is added, not removed, but when a tag is added. And then we want to specify the tag that's going to make this all happen. And so that is going to end up being Central Valley Agents. We don't have this tag yet inside the system, so we're going to click the Add New Tag. And you can name your triggers. This just helps, I think, visually you understand what's happening. So we can do tag added, and we'll do Central Valley Agents. And we're going to save that. So that just kind of tells you the trigger is when a tag is added, Central Valley Agents. They come into the workflow and they enter this manual action to call. So we're going to publish this workflow and save it. We now have a power dialer built and set up to call these agents once they get pushed into the CRM. We're going to go quickly just create a pipeline for them. So we're going to head over to pipelines are under Success Tracker here. And Steve's already got some great pipelines, which is awesome. We were in opportunities. That's where we see the pipelines. To build a new one, we're going to go into the back end here under pipelines. And we're going to create a new pipeline. We'll call it Central Valley Agents. And our first stage, let's set them as a candidate first. Right? And then we can do, I mean, it's up to you maybe how we can mess around with how many stages are in this pipeline, right? But let's just say candidate, appointment booked. You know, sometimes agents are not a good fit. Occasionally that happens, right? We then hopefully eventually might generate a referral partner, or, you know, maybe we want to call them Focus 40 and eventually say that they've moved over to Focus 40. So you can create whatever stages you want. And Steve, if you have any input here because you want to run with this, let me know.
Yeah, I'd say add one that says follow-up scheduled.
All right, perfect. Follow up scheduled. And we can move this. So I'm assuming we probably want this after appointment booked,
Right?
right?
Because if they're a no-show, they're not moving out of the candidate stage.
Right? Perfect. Any other changes you want to make?
I don't think so until maybe the last stage would be, I put people that I'm receiving business from kind of in a different category because I'm talking to those people at least weekly, but not necessarily on the same schedule as people I'm trying to get business from.
So do you want to have one that says receiving business
Yeah,
or referrals maybe?
hey, receiving referrals is perfect.
How's that? Let's save that. Boom. We have a pipeline. We called it Central Valley Agents. So now when we come back over to opportunities, this drop down here lets us choose our pipeline. So we'll scroll up to the top. It's alphabetical. There is Central Valley Agents. And so we've got this nice little visual here of everything that's going to happen. Now we're going to piggyback onto the power dialer that we just created. So we created a folder for Central Valley. We have this power dialer. Cool thing that we can do, there's lots of automation that we can set up here. And this is where the building part of workflows and customizing is really, it's such a powerful tool to understand how to use. And the CRM has lots of really great options. So we can actually automatically load that pipeline and put everybody that we're going to get in this workflow, which when that tag Central Valley Agents gets applied, when we bring the agents in, that's going to put them into this workflow. Your power dialer is going to get loaded. And there's a step here that can automatically load that pipeline for us. So I think it's actually, hold on. Oh, I forget what it is. Create or update opportunity. So we're going to click this one. And this is where we don't have to fill out everything here, just the pieces we want. So we're going to choose the pipeline that we're adding somebody into, which is going to be Central Valley Agents. And by the way, we can rename this whole thing. So we can call this adding to Central Valley Pipeline. Alrighty, in pipeline, we selected Central Valley. What stage do we want to put them in? See how it pulls up? Like once we choose the pipeline, it pulls up the stages of those pipelines. So we're going to put them in the candidate stage. Opportunity name, we're just going to use the custom value for contact full name. So the opportunity name will be their first name and their last name. Opportunity source, you could literally write model match if you want. And let's just go ahead and save this action from here. So we've added this to the workflow and we're going to click save. So we've basically built out a power dialer, created a pipeline, we've got our list ready to go. The only other thing I would ask you is whether or not if you have a realtor workflow sending out emails, Steve, We can add a trigger to that workflow that when the tag Central Valley Agents gets applied, they get added to that workflow sending emails. Do you want to do that step, or do you want to just go push the agents through and like load this power dialer?
I think I want to push them when that first call is made.
Okay, got it. So do you
some
want
are
to
gonna
add
already-
that step into the workflow?
Can we do that?
You betcha we can. So let's add a step to the workflow. Okay. And you know what? This is what I'm going to do. Sorry. I'm going to do some changes here. We're going to click this adding to pipeline. We're going to move this. We're going to move this action. We're going to put it above the call. I'm going to add another step. It's always good to add this step to the workflow, the assign to user step. That way the contact records are going to just be assigned to you. So you are the assigned person on these contact records. They get added to the pipeline when they come in. They get called, and you want them to go into the workflow sending emails after you call them.
Right.
Correct? Beautiful. So we will add this step here. And by the way, I sort of, before I do that, I skimmed over what I did there. So if you click the 3 dots, which I believe are called ellipses, if you click those, there's a few things that you can do. You can copy actions in the workflow or all actions below it. You can move actions and you can delete them as well. And they all sort of offer you like the single action or everything below it. So that's a pretty cool thing to understand, you know, how to maneuver inside workflows. Those 3 dots are very powerful. So we're going to add a step here, and it's going to be the add to workflow step. So you can just come, and this is a list, right? So you could scroll through this list of actions. You can also search to help find what you're looking for. So if I just start typing in workflow, I find this pretty little add to workflow button, which I will click. And here's the action name up here. So add to workflow. And now I need to choose the workflow I want to put them in. Do you know the title of the workflow that sends your agents emails?
I think we're gonna go with the standard, forget which launch number it is that puts them in a 12-month
Is it
agent.
launch 3?
I believe so.
Do we want to just double? Can I just jump into another tab in your CRM here?
Absolutely.
Let's just go check. We're here. We'll just be sure.
Yeah, qualified agent partners.
Okay, perfect. So that one is going, so that's a perfect one for us to use. So we will add it right into launch 3, and I'm going to update the action name. We'll do add to workflow launch 3. Perfect. And we're going to save that. Save our whole workflow. Awesome. So we're ready with a power dialer, a pipeline, and you've already got the realtor workflow ready to go, which means we're just going to automatically add them in there once you make the phone call to them.
And let's put a wait step in there.
Sure.
Maybe
How
5 minutes.
long do you want to wait?
3 minutes.
Sure. And you can update your name here too. You can go 3 minutes, just like that. Sort of helps you know like what you've done, which I think is really helpful to know how to like rename those steps in your workflows. So
We add one more step.
sure.
How about,
Time.
can it recognize when an appointment's set and then move them into update the Central Valley?
Bit more. These are things that you can do, bit more complicated than what we're going to have the time for today. So still something you could build out, but
We'll have one other one to add is, let's
Yeah.
assign this also to Cheyenne.
sure.
And I'm actually gonna have her, we'll leave it assigned to me, but
You can either round robin or
we'll just assign it to Cheyenne.
yeah.
Because I'm gonna have her start calling from this instead of what she's calling from now.
Okay. So we'll save that workflow. Okay. Now we are basically, we've prepared everything. All we have to do now is go get the agents into the CRM. Every time you push agents into the CRM from Model Match, There's a workflow that's involved in the connection between Model Match and the contacts coming into your account. And that's a good thing because the workflow lets us apply specific tags. So I'm going to pull your Model Match workflow here. And I'm going to jump into it because this is the workflow that's essentially connecting the contacts in Model Match to your CRM. And where we have the add tag option, we're right now adding Model Match. We're also going to add the Central Valley Agents tag that we created earlier in the workflow. And that's the trigger to get them into that power dialer and everything that we just built out. So when the agents get pushed from Model Match, they come through this workflow. They'll then get tagged as these tags here, Model Match and Central Valley Agents, because we've saved all these changes. We have the other workflow that we just built out that has when that Central Valley Agent tag gets applied, which will happen with everybody who we push, they're all going to go into that workflow. They're going to get added into the pipeline. They're going to get added into the dialer. It'll wait and then send them into the email workflow. So pretty cool process.
So will that push all the people that come over from Model Match into the Central Valley?
The
Or only
ones that we put into that pipeline, all the agents that we're going to go push right now will all go in there. Yes.
Okay, because that one, the current list needs to be cleaned up. Because it was before the Model Match got refined.
So, not sure if I understand correctly, but
There are people in there that it wasn't actually the buyer agent count, and a lot of them didn't have full contact information. Because I think our number is significantly different than the number that Model Match already has in there, our new number.
so Model Match has done some significant updates to their CRM. I think they've got like 31% more emails and 35% more phone numbers. So they're constantly updating their processes and things like that to help improve data quality. But this isn't going to have an impact on the list that we're pushing now. We've just pulled a fresh list today with all the data today. We're going to go push that through to the CRM. It's going to map all those fields for us, first name, last name, email, phone number, whatever we have set up in this workflow. It's going to map everything. And then the automation that we've built before this is going to trigger. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Does that answer your question? It might not.
Not quite, because we have agents that are getting calls that aren't actually qualified right now.
Okay, well, but that's a list that we already determined, I think you're switching out, right? Like you want to pull this list today.
Right, but we're pulling this list into the
Yes.
same bucket of
It's
Model Match
gonna, but
agents, so.
that's where they're different workflows. This
Okay.
is the Model Match workflow. We created a power dialer for Central Valley agents. Just the people that we push today will go into
Okay.
that list.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So, we're going to go back to Model Match, which is again here under qualified agents. And we're going to go to your pipeline. We've got 363 candidates here. And again, there's some duplicates in here. It let us know that there's some duplicates. So when they get pushed to the CRM, it's going to filter out those duplicates, which is good. So we're going to scroll down here to the bottom of the page, and we're going to make this page size the largest we can, which is 100. And we're going to select the first 100 agents on this page. So we got 100 contacts here. We're going to go to the next page. And we will select all of these contact records. So that'll be 200. We'll go to the next page. Oh, I don't know if it clicked next. Whoops. No, it did. Let's go previous. Okay. sometimes I have to do this more than once because I'm trigger happy. All right. Let's just go all the way to, okay, so we're on the last page. We'll go previous. I'm just going to work my way back. Is it loading? Let's just go to page 1. Bear with me, guys. All right, scroll up. That's page 1. Let's do page 2. We're missing 2 somewhere. It's just very hard. And there's a delay. If I don't get them all, we're going to move forward. Here we go. Okay. We're going to go with this. So we're going to send to loan officer CRM from here. So basically we've selected the contacts that we can, and we're going to go to the we're going to send them to the loan officer CRM. Now this takes a second. It does say that you can safely navigate away from this page while it finishes up, but I usually like to just watch it from here. So we'll let this work. We'll do some Q&A here in the chat. And then once it's finished up, Steve, we'll go take a look. We'll go through the pipeline. We'll see the agents in there. We'll see them loaded into the power dialer. And then from there, the rest of those actions will kick off. So it was a Central Valley folder that was created in your account that has that power dialer workflow in it. So if you need that for reference, we did create that folder. So yeah. All righty. Let's see what we got going on in the chat. All right, guys. I unfroze. That's good. And I didn't freeze, I think, again, which is also a win. And you can do, like you can set different filters, right? You can look at 8 or more buyer side units, 12 or more buyer side units. You can set whatever filters that you'd like. You can even set volume filters and things like that as you're pulling these lists. So just know you can definitely set that up. Yeah. So let's just see. We got some other questions there. John, how's it going? Tadaro, you still here? Not sure if you are. All right.
Just on mute. He's still here.
There we go. But all right. We'll check in, Steve. We'll stop your share for a second so that you don't have all of that happen in the background, and I'll open it up to Q&A. So does anybody here have any questions? I know that was a lot. But hopefully it's helpful seeing like the pipeline stages built out, how you can create a power dialer and set up different workflow actions. If anybody has any questions, the floor is yours. Donna, did you have any questions if you're there? Jay, how about you? No, all good? Rockstar. Let's see. Is John Fortner still here? I think he jumped. Megan, did you have a question?
I do.
Yeah.
So I am a loan partner to my LO, Jay,
Yes.
actually. And I was wondering for the model match, do I use how does that work? Do I get my own credentials where I can go
Ah.
in and do this, on his
Yeah.
behalf? Okay.
So the answer is essentially that if Jay is the one with the subscription, he's the owner of the account, he's the
Mhm.
one who gets the login to Model Match, but that can be shared with you.
Okay.
So basically just get the login from Jay. If Jay needs any help getting logged in or setting anything up, you can jump into Zoom support or shoot us an email. And we can easily get your access set up, make sure your password's set the way you want it to be, and then you would just log in with those credentials.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
No problem. Any other questions from anybody here as we worked on things? All questions are welcome. All right. Steve, is that push all finished up?
Let's take a look. Nope, it's still running.
What percentage are we at there?
76%.
Okay, so we got let's kill 25%, or 24 to be honest. Anybody got any good plans for the weekend? No one's in Africa other than Chris. So Chris seems to be having a lucky guy to be over there in Africa. Has anybody been before?
Oh,
No,
No?
I've not even ever been on an airplane before.
Girl.
I know.
We
Get
need to
yourself
her
a-
out.
Yeah, we do. Well, hopefully you get to travel at some point, and yeah, we're all sending Chris, well wishes on his journey and his trip. So,
Is
Steve,
he
I don't
on like
know.
a safari or something, or is he just
Yeah, he's doing some outreach. So he's
all the things?
helping
Oh,
communities get like I think wells installed, and they were building desks and lots of
oh,
amazing things. So we're
awesome.
thinking of him and supporting him as he's on that journey. And great, I think, for him to have the kids around to do that, right? On Father's Day, to be on vacation with your kids. I
That's
mean, it's not
awesome.
really a
I thought he was on
vacation,
Naked and
but
Afraid.
yeah. Steve, what are we at?
we're at 92. We're almost there. 93.
Do you want to share your screen so that we can kind of show off the results of our efforts here?
All right, there you think it's shared. Can you see it?
It is shared, yes.
Great.
So, alrighty, 95%. We are so close. I
I have a
mean,
question for you while that's finishing up. I moved an office,
mhm.
but and I thought the reviews would stick, but they did not.
Are we talking about Google Business Reviews?
Google Business Reviews, I changed an office address after Google eliminated it, but we can get back to that. The import is finished.
Yeah, it is. So and I think, do I still I'll request remote control here. Okay. So we'll minimize that. Let's go to your success tracker here. We'll pull up Central Valley agents and bada boom. Everybody's sitting there nicely for us. Look at that. Pretty neat.
Cool.
Now, let's go check out our workflow. So again, we created an automation, and it is here down in Central Valley. And you can see here's all the folks in it. And they were assigned to, I think we set that as Cheyenne. We added them to that pipeline. They're here in this wait step to call. For those that didn't have phone numbers, they'll automatically get added to your email campaign. And I think that's fine. Because,
Yeah.
there's going to be a few contact records that don't always have emails or phone numbers or vice versa. That happens. But yeah, so those ones will move forward. But it's pretty cool to see all that loaded. And if we were to want to start making those calls, we just head over to Conversations and Power Dialer. Okay, and we are going to, what did we call it? Central Valley.
Valley.
You got it. Oopsie. there it is. And we could start calling those folks if we wanted to.
Sweet.
Pretty cool, right? So I mean, realistically, we did a ton of stuff there and we went sort of slowly through things, but you can have these processes, set up within, 10, 15, 20 minutes once you get fast with it, right? I'll say most of the wait will be just waiting for that list to finish pushing through. So, but then, everything's automated for you on the back end because you've set it all up in the workflow. So certainly I think a huge asset to be able to pull a list of agents, load them into a dialer, and then, be able to start that outreach. As you guys know, referral business is the best business. So make sure that you're doing all that past client follow-up and you're, following up with your existing referral partners and trying to generate new referral partners within your business. So any final questions before we finish up today? JT, do you got any questions? No?
No, none.
Was that helpful?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
We gotta dive into Model Match a little bit more. Changing from Redder kind of
Yeah.
slows us down, and we fear change most of the time. So
I think that's human nature,
yes,
right?
ma'am.
But hopefully it helped to see like doing that today a little bit, and you can jump into Zoom support. Like if you need help pulling a list or anything like that, you can jump into Zoom support and the team can help you get that implemented. Yeah, and then there will likely be this recording available if you need to watch it back and help you out there too. Cool, guys. Well, happy Friday. I hope I was able to fill Chris's shoes for just a short while. And yeah, again, to those fathers out there, happy Father's Day. And we'll be back again next Friday. All the best.
Thank
Bye.
you. Good day.